I had quite a few people reach out to me in private messages about the video that I posted before, where I went through an energy healing process that's infused with a tantric approach. And so to answer some of those questions, so the movements that I'm making with my hands are not thought out. So what I teach is how to basically go into full surrender. Your body begins to be moved by forces that know what they're doing, right? And so the point is to just turn off your mind and allow your body to start being moved. And so that's where you see small movements, are maybe installing structures of light, or maybe also you noticed that I was kind of sometimes grabbing something and pulling it out of my body or pushing things away. This is called an extraction. And when you're doing an extraction on the energetic level, and there's many layers, so I'm just going into this really simply, is you're actually taking out the energetic imprint of maybe a trauma or a belief system that you've been holding on to. And so what's really cool is to be able to access this transformation from both sides. One, from the cognitive level of like, okay, this happened to me at that point in my life, that's why I believe this, blah, blah, blah. But then you can also have the energetic imprint that's still there, that is causing discomfort or pulling you back to that belief or that behavior, because your mind might understand it, but your body does not, or your energetic body is still holding on to something that's old. And so when you see me pulling something out, it's actually taking out that energetic imprint and making space for something new. And so after an extraction, it's important to infuse that space with new energy. So lightful energy, or new programming, new imprints. And again, of course, I'm holding a field of intentionality, of saying, okay, love, compassion, harmony, serenity, peace, empowerment, strength. And I'm holding this field of intentionality, but then actually giving it up to the divine to guide my energy system, or to infuse my energy system with that which I need. And so that's where you'll see, like, you lay the hands on and you're just allowing energy to flow from your hands into the body and allowing yourself to receive that, to receive it. It feels really, really good. And why was I saying actually the opposite of what everybody is used to is the affirmations? I am confident, I am empowered, I am loved, I am accepted, I am safe, is actually to allow the parts of you that have been rejected into the shadows, the ones that you wage war against. The tantric approach there is to actually completely embrace them, to really go in and feel them. And so what happens is at the beginning, it's really painful. It's painful. You feel the resistance, and then you've surrendered to the energy work. So, and then things begin to shift, release. And if you might have noticed, then there was this moment of truth coming through, of realizing, oh, of course, when I am a disappointment, in an integrated way, being a disappointment for somebody who's not good for me is a good thing. Because in the moment that I disappoint them, then I have chosen myself. Right? So this was a truth that had space to come through. So not only do you surrender your body to divine guidance, you also surrender your tongue to allow the adjustments and the truths to come through once the charge of the trigger has been released. So instead of trying to, and this is what I'm talking about when I say going through the process instead of trying to avoid it. Because then you drag the process, or you drag the trigger, or you try to avoid being triggered for your entire life. Whereas if you go straight in with love, compassion, with the intention to really feel it all, then you do. And instead of, like in that moment, you'll see depression, right? Took me out. I mean, I also have to say, when we made that video, I was in court fighting for my children for the second time. We had just moved into a house in a super frantic, chaotic way, in a hurry because of the things with my children going on. Like a whole bunch of stuff, right? And then old stories, my ex-husband being like, who he is. And so there was a lot of reasons for me to be sad. And yet, what I really teach and empower people to do is that it doesn't matter what's happening in your life. You can still choose your experience. You can create your experience. It's not about spiritual bypassing. It's about doing the work that is necessary, but it doesn't need to take a long time. It can be efficient. So what is happening is you actually become aware of what your needs are. You become aware of your energy system, and you are able to take deep care of yourself so that basically depression, so this imprint of depression that was in my nervous system for most of my life that would take me out. And I would say I spent maybe some years where I was mostly depressed, and then I had some days where I was good, and basically most of the time depressed, and some days I was good. And then there was this flip that happened where I was being like mostly happy and then sometimes depressed, but still for like days or weeks at a time. And then this video that you might have just watched was actually one of the epic turning points of actually being able to, was actually one of these turning points where the depression or the imprint of depression was fairly completely released from my body. It doesn't mean that I never get sad. It doesn't mean that I don't have shades of depression, but it means that it doesn't take me down to the ground anymore. It means that I see it coming and I can love it and I can pay attention to my needs before depression has to take care of me for me. Because my depression was related to overworking, was related to stress, was related to exiting my body, to, not taking control of my life, not taking responsibility of my life. And so even there, coming into love with the part that caused me the most pain in my whole life, and realizing, oh wow, my depression was actually just trying to get me to rest. Brilliant. I'll just rest. I don't need to be depressed to rest. Right? What a wonderful insight to have. And it's really changed my life. And so this is the work that I do. This is this energetic work. And actually, this is what I teach. So it's not, when you work with me, it's not I come in and do this to you. I can do that too, and some people do pay me to do that. But I actually also teach you the basics about how to become your own healer, how to be your own best caretaker, so that you're not obligated or dependent on an outer force for your well-being. You can actually just choose to be well and to know what you really need.